Okay, let's unpack this. We're jumping into something really practical today.
Mhm.
How to get ready for a contact center specialist interview.
Yeah, super important.
And for this deep dive, we're really using the Kaplan Community Career Center resources you brought, like digging into those specific guides. Our
Exactly.
goal isn't just, reading questions off a list. It's more about understanding why they're asking these things.
What skills are they actually looking for?
Right, and why those skills matter so much in this job, all based on what the source material is telling us.
Yeah, and it's a good source. It gives a clear window into what employers are prioritizing.
Mm,
So by looking at these questions, how they're structured, you can really fine-tune your prep.
and show your value.
Exactly. We'll hit the big areas it points out. Experience, customer service, tech skills, solving problems, data stuff, and teamwork.
It feels a bit like reverse engineering the job ad, doesn't it? Through the questions they ask.
That's a great way to put it.
So let's start at the top. First thing this source brings up is experience. It literally asks, what experience do you have as a contact center specialist?
Right, and this sounds simple, but it's more than just, I worked there for X years.
Yeah.
The source really stresses that, yes, mention the years, but immediately pivot to the types of experience.
Okay. So it flags things like customer service skills,
hmm
problem solving, communication. You need to mention those with the years.
Yes, and critically, it also mentions your experience with different communication tech and software.
Right, the tools.
What's interesting is how the source links time serve directly to getting and using this mix of skills. It's not just about putting in the hours.
It's about what you learn doing it.
Precisely. Because the role is so varied, right?
Yeah.
You're juggling, talking, thinking, fixing, using tech, all at once sometimes.
Yeah.
So showing you've got experience across all those things proves you can handle the actual job, the day-to-day reality.
That clicks. It's the quality and range, not just the quantity of time. Okay, moving on. The source dives right into the absolute core, question 2. What are your customer service skills like?
And this is, the heart of it, your interaction skills.
Mm-hmm.
The material lays out things like providing excellent service, dealing with needs efficiently,
Family and efficiently, yeah.
and handling complaints or issues professionally and empathetically.
Okay, wait. That word empathetically, it jumped out at me too. We hear professional all the time, but why empathetic? Why is that so crucial when someone's maybe like really annoyed?
That's a great pickup. Empathy is sort of the secret sauce.
Yeah.
It connects the professional process part to just being a human talking to another human.
Okay.
When a customer calls, they might be stressed,
Hmm.
right? Or inconvenienced. Empathy means you actually get that. You acknowledge how they're
You
feeling.
validate it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You build a connection. Even while you're trying to fix the problem, it shows you see it from their side.
Mhm.
And the source points this out because it's just so effective for calming things down, making the customer feel genuinely heard,
Which leads to better results.
with much better results and, stronger relationships for the company down the line.
So it's not just what you do, it's how you make them feel.
Got it. Okay, let's switch gears from the people skills to the tools. Question 3 is about tech. Can you explain your experience with communication technologies and software?
Yeah, the nuts and bolts. This is about the actual instruments you use. The source gives examples like phones, chat systems, email.
Standard stuff. But it says using them effectively for efficient service. That phrase seems important.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just asking, have you used chat before? It's asking, can you use chat well enough to actually help people quickly and properly?
Right. What does effectively mean here then?
Well, like for chat, maybe it's handling a couple of conversations at once without messing up or sounding like a robot.
For phones, it's navigating the system smoothly, transfers, holds, all that. Email is being clear, concise, professional, solving the problem in the email if possible.
So it's about skill, not just familiarity.
Exactly. The source highlights these because how well you use these tools directly impacts everything else. Your speed, your clarity, your ability to get information, it all flows through the tech.
They enable the customer service we were just talking about.
Precisely. They're the pipeline for all your other skills.
Oh, makes sense. Okay, next up, a big one for any support role. Problem solving. Question 4. What are your problem-solving skills like?
Yeah, and the source actually lays out a pretty structured way to think about this. It starts with critical thinking.
So not just patching the hole, but finding the leak.
Right. Identifying the root cause. Then it mentions resolving the issue.
Okay.
And the steps it implies are, gathering the facts, maybe looking at some data.
Data comes up again.
Yep. And then figuring out a solution that actually works for the customer.
That sounds really logical, almost like a process.
It is a process. And it's helpful, when you're answering this in an interview to think about it that way. Use those steps from the source. Gather info, analyze, solve. It maps well onto things like the STAR method people often use.
Ah, situation, task, action, result. So the source gives you the action ingredients.
Kind of, yeah. It gives you the key components of what effective action looks like in this context. It's about being that methodical detective you mentioned.
Piecing together the clues for the customer.
Exactly. And the why behind the source focusing on this is simple. Good problem solving, based on facts and analysis, makes customers happier. You give real solutions, not just quick fixes.
Which builds loyalty. Okay, that leads smoothly into question 5, which seems maybe less glamorous, but still vital. Can you describe your experience with data entry and management?
Right, this is about being organized and accurate. The source talks about inputting and finding customer info correctly, keeping records up to date.
Sounds like basic admin.
It starts there, but the source adds a crucial bit, using data to improve customer service.
Ah, okay. How does that work?
Well, think about it. If you have accurate data on a customer call, you know their history, their context, you can give much more personalized help, right?
Saves time, too.
Definitely. But then, zoom out. If everyone's putting in accurate data, the whole center can see trends. What are people calling about most? Are there common roadblocks?
So you can spot bigger problems.
Exactly. Analyzing that data, like the source suggests, lets the center actually improve things overall. Better processes, maybe better products.
It helps everyone. So my careful data entry helps the whole system get smarter. That makes sense. Okay, last question area number 6. It shifts to working with others. What are your thoughts on working in a team?
Yeah, even though you're often talking one-on-one with customers, contact centers are absolutely team environments.
How so?
Well, the source lists things like actually enjoying teamwork, collaborating well, being able to take direction, but also sharing your own ideas.
Contributing.
And it specifically calls out understanding teamwork's importance and working well under pressure.
Okay, that combo. Teamwork. Under pressure. Why is that specific mix highlighted for this job?
Because contact centers can get intense, right?
Yeah.
High call volume, maybe complex problems, deadlines.
Yeah, definitely.
When it gets hectic, you have to rely on your colleagues. Maybe you need help with a tough question or need to escalate something or just need someone to cover calls while you finish up a complicated one.
You need backup.
Totally. Working well together when things are stressful means the service doesn't just fall apart. Help is there. The workload gets managed. It's about that shared support system when the pressure's on. The source nails why that's critical.
Right. Mutual support when it counts. Okay, so looking back at these 6 areas from the Kaplan source, it really paints a full picture. You need the people skills, the tech skills, the brain power for problems, the accuracy with info, and you need to be a good team player.
It's a comprehensive skill set, absolutely. And the source material also mentions other tools they offer, like an interview coach or an offer analyzer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think mentioning those is the source's way of saying, hey, preparing isn't just about reciting answers. It's about the whole process, understanding your worth, negotiating.
Using all the resources available.
Right. And it also points out these skills aren't just for this one job title.
It's transferable skills.
Exactly. It notes links to questions for similar roles.
Yeah.
Account adjuster, claims assistant, client services rep.
So the foundation is useful elsewhere, too.
Definitely suggest career path options. And just as a side note, the source mentions where salary info comes from depth of labor, job sites like WebScribble. Just context for where those numbers originate, according to them.
Good transparency. Okay, so let's tie this all together. Based on this source material, these interview questions aren't random hoops to jump through.
Not at all.
They're a roadmap. They show exactly what makes a contact center specialist valuable, from the empathetic chat to using the software right to working smoothly with the team.
And understanding the why behind each question, as this material helps us do, really lets you prepare answers that show your value. It helps you see the bigger picture of the role.
It really does show the depth required. Okay, so here's something to think about. Pulling from everything this source highlighted, it puts so much weight on both empathetic human connection and also really effective use of technology. How does successfully blending those two almost opposite seeming skills, How does that blend define the truly valuable modern contact center specialist?
That's a great question to ponder.
It's not just being a people person or a tech person, is it?
No, it seems the real skill, according to this, is mastering where those two things meet.
Something for you to definitely think about as you prep for those interviews.